crime stories. What's your question, Bunny?
Well, I just want to figure out as much as her mother and everybody does what happened to her and what the timeline is, because Melissa has said so many different things as to what happened and has changed her story. So nobody in the public knows exactly where they should be looking and what's going on because she's changed her story so many times. So my question is, what is exactly the timeline?
Because that really is where every case starts.
Your concerns are actually just as concerning as my own. I've been hearing about 4 or 5 different stories now, and very, very unsettling with me.
Somebody picked her up, and she's gone?
Of course anything's possible. I just don't believe it.
And tell me why you don't believe it.
Too many stories. Can't keep their lines straight, can't keep their stories straight, timelines. It's one story was 6:30, one was 6:45, now it's 7:15.
I understand that you last saw Karlie in bed with you at around 5:30 a.m. Is that right?
Around 5:45, yes.
Okay. I've gotten 5:30 and I've gotten 6:30, but now you're clarifying it's 5:45. What happened? You say you saw her the last time at 5:45 in the morning in bed with her. What happened at 5:45?
Yes. And then I fell back to sleep.
Okay.
And then when I woke back up, it was like 7:15, 7:30, and she was gone.
So the working theory is between 5:45 and 7:30, she disappeared.
Now, you last see her at 5:30, then you drift off to sleep, you wake up, and at 6:30 she's gone.
7:15.
That was the next time you wake up was 7:15?
Yeah.
If she left, it was between 5:30 and 7:15.
It was 6 o'clock and 7:15.
I woke up, it was like 7:18.
Wow. Okay. So the problem is that when you tell lies, you don't remember what you've said, right? How many inconsistencies have there been in all of these recorded interviews that she's done, right? It's just crazy. It's a circus. Like the PI or some journalist said, it's a circus. It's crazy. I mean, something as simple as when did you last see your stepdaughter has started from 5:30, 6:30, 5:45, 7:15. Oh my God, hang on. I think it was 7:18, or maybe 7:15, 7:30. What the? Okay, so let's backtrack. We're going to her first live where she first stated when she last saw Karlie, okay? The very first live that she ever stated that properly was in October 22nd at 1:51 p.m. She actually stated that she saw Karlie at 7:18. Now, I don't know about you, but I know that if I see something that's a specific time, like 7:18 is a specific time, it means that she's seen it somewhere. She's seen it on her phone, on her watch, on a clock. She has seen 7:18, those exact numbers somewhere. Now, if my son was to have gone missing and I had that time frame in my head, like I'd seen that because it's visual, we have like a photographic memory, like we see things, she has seen that time somewhere. And if I had lost my son and I had 7:18 in my head, I would be seeing that as a memory in my head. It would be etched into my brain that is the last time that I saw my child. So for her to go from October 22nd, 4 to 5 days before she had Nancy Grace's interview, because, you know, for her to change that and say to Nancy Grace, it was around 7:15, 7:30. What? So then to go from that to then say on the Dr. Phil interview in March this year, 2019, that, yes, she's sticking to 7:15, isn't she? She's sticking to that. But she's then gone and said that the time frame that Karlie is left in is between 6 a.m. and 7:15. Yet she's saying she fell asleep around 5:45 when in actual fact, the exact message or last text message she sent, which she still remembers and does say in certain interviews at times, is 5:48 a.m. Now that is an exact number, like an exact time frame, isn't it? 5:48. Why would you remember to say when you last sent a text the exact time, but somehow forget that you woke up exactly at 7:18 a.m. to find your stepdaughter missing, which is more significant than actually sending a text? And some people might think, okay, well, you know, she said 7:15, around 7:15. That's 3 minutes in between 7:18, 7:15, you know. But at the same time, she was very specific on what time she sent the text message, her last text message to Karlie's boyfriend or friend, right? She was very specific, 5:48 a.m. She didn't turn around and say, oh, 6 a.m. or around 6 a.m. She says 5:48 a.m. Why would you be worried about being so specific about the last text message you sent, but not worry about being precise when you know there's a precise time frame that you saw, that you last woke up and found your stepdaughter missing? Knowing that you said 7:18, you've seen that time frame somewhere, right? She's seen it somewhere. To be able to say that in her live in October 22nd, and for her to be able to say now, oh, it's around 7:15, and even on the Nancy Grace one, she said around 7:15, 7:30. Well, 7:30 is nowhere near 7:18. So I don't get that. Missing since 6:30. Where did that come from? That was in her very, very first live on October 13th at 4:30 p.m. 10 hours after Karlie had gone missing. We're going to look into what unravels around that, okay?
Karlie Lane Guse is missing still. She's been missing since... Breathe. She's been missing since 6:30 a.m. The last time that I spoke to her was 5:30. Bishop, California. I just had a neighbor call me and inform me that he saw her yesterday morning walking down the road towards Highway 6. And she was wearing a white t-shirt and sweatpants, dark gray, dark gray. And he saw her around 7:30 in the morning.
So first of all, Melissa Guse, Karlie Guse right here. Been missing since Saturday, October 13th, at last seen by 2 confirmed people at 7:15, 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Since Saturday, last seen at 7:30 a.m. near Bishop, California. Karlie Guse still missing. 86 hours now. Last seen October 13th. Last sighting 7:30 a.m. in the morning. 16 years old, 5'7", 110 pounds, and dirty blonde hair, and has her nose pierced on the left side. A couple good updates. We had a confirmed another sighting that she was seen walking toward the highway. And then we had one more confirmed sighting that she was actually on the south side of White Mountain Estates, walking inside the barbed wire next to Highway 6. So that's good. Good morning, Team Karlie. My name is Melissa Guse. It is Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. Karlie Guse is still missing. She was last seen Saturday, October 13th, sighted by Highway 6, south of White Mountain Estates, wearing a white t-shirt and gray pants. October 17th, Wednesday, about 9:40 at night. Karlie Lane Guse is still missing. Went missing Saturday morning, October 13th. She was last seen by 3 different people. And so, last person who saw her was the neighbor right down on the street at 6:30. And then 2 confirmed people did see her walking towards the highway that morning. Only 1 person said that they saw her wearing the white t-shirt with the gray sweatpants.
Okay, guys, this is seriously confusing. We've seen all these lives so far and heard the interviews. There's a lot of time frames being given. There's a lot of different witnesses coming forward. There's some confirmed, some aren't confirmed. Some have seen Karlie walking towards the highway. Some have seen her, or one has seen her by the highway at White Mountain Estate. You know, now she's finally come out and said there's a neighbor that saw Karlie at 6:30 in the morning. I mean, what the F? So let's have a look at what's going on. I'm going to try and work this out and sort it out for Karlie's sake, for justice for Karlie, okay? We've got to try and work this out. So, starting from October 13th, her first live, Melissa's first Facebook live at 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon on October 13th. She states that Karlie has been missing since 6:30 in the morning. She doesn't give any details, does not say how or why she knows that. Then on October 14th, the next morning at 11:06 a.m., she says that a neighbour called her and said that yesterday, October 13th, he saw Karlie walking towards Highway 6 around 7:15, 7:30 a.m. So then October 15th at 7:23 p.m, Melissa says that Karlie was last seen by 2 confirmed people at 7:15, 7:30 a.m. Now we know that the neighbour who's just called her the day before says that he saw Karlie walking towards the highway around 7:15, 7:30. So he must be one of those confirmed people, I'm guessing. So October 16th, 7:10 a.m, Melissa says that Karlie was last seen 7:30 in the morning. Okay, so then later on that night, October 16th, Melissa gets back on to Facebook Live at 8:31 p.m. She says Karlie's last sighting was at 7:30 a.m. by 1 confirmed sighting seeing Karlie walk towards Highway 6 and 1 confirmed sighting that saw Karlie on south side of White Mountain Estate inside the barbed wire next to Highway 6. Now, that kind of makes sense. Now we've understood that there's the 2 confirmed people that last saw Karlie walking towards the highway and then 1 at Highway 6 near the estate there. So now we're getting into confusing territory, okay? So October 17th, 8:07 a.m, Melissa says that Karlie was last sighted by Highway 6 south of White Mountain Estate, and she doesn't give a time in that particular live. So that's fair enough. Sorry, that's not the confusing one. That's actually pretty straightforward. She says that her very last sighting was at Highway 6 south of White Mountain Estate. Now, October 17th, later that night at 9:31 p.m, Melissa gets on live, Facebook Live, and says that Karlie was last seen by 3 different people. She says, my neighbour down the street at 6:30 a.m, and then 2 confirmed people saw Karlie walking towards Highway 6. I'm extremely confused right now. You have a neighbour down the street at 6:30 a.m. This is the first time that we have heard of this neighbour living down the street who saw Karlie at 6:30 a.m. October 17th, 4 days after Karlie goes missing, we're now hearing about this so-called neighbour down the street who says that he witnessed Karlie, or someone who looked like Karlie, walking down the street walking down the street at 6:30 a.m. But then she says in that one, 2 confirmed people saw Karlie walking towards Highway 6. Well, I'm really confused because that makes sense with neighbor witness number 2, yeah? Witness number 2 would be the neighbor who called Melissa and said that he saw Karlie walking towards Highway 6. He's the number one confirmed witness that saw her. There's no other confirmed witness that saw Karlie walking towards the highway. The other confirmed witness, which is number 2, she's saying there's 2 confirmed people, is the person that saw Karlie by Highway 6 inside the barbed wire at the south side of the White Mountain Estate. So that would be the second confirmed person. So how can 2 confirmed people see Karlie walking towards the highway? Interesting.
Did she take off her clothes and leave them in the floor? Did she wake up and put those back on? Because right now, we can't even tell people what to look for if she's wandering around, because we don't know.
Well, as far as we know, it's tennis shoes, Vans, a dark pair of sweatpants, and a white T-shirt. That's what we know.
And that was confirmed by three
Five.
different people. 2 neighbors, and then one.
Okay, now I'm just hearing that for the first time. Tell me about that. What did the 3 neighbors say?
Okay, so when we first went out searching in the morning, we searched for 2 hours, and one neighbor that lived on our street, he's older, and I asked him, I said, did you see my daughter walking down the street, young girl? And he said, yeah, actually I did. And I said, do you know what time? And he said, it was about 6:30. And I was like, okay. And then as just the searching and everything keeps going on, we have had 3 more people. 2 are neighbors who live right in this community that saw her wearing a white T-shirt, gray sweatpants, and tennis shoes, walking west on our road. And then the other one confirmed person was a wooder, which is like somebody who goes out to chop wood. He saw her at 7:30 down by Highway 6.
Good morning, Team Karlie. This is Melissa Guse. This is Karlie Guse, who went missing Saturday morning, October 13th, last seen at 7:30 a.m., walking down towards Highway 6 near Bishop, California. Hey, Team Karlie, it's Melissa Guse. It is Thursday, October 18th, 6:30. My daughter, Karlie Guse, is still missing. It's been 108 hours. She was last seen wearing gray sweatpants. There she is. She was last seen wearing a white T-shirt and gray sweatpants near our home. 7:30 was the last confirmed time that she was seen walking towards the highway. Good morning, Team Karlie. This is Melissa Guse. Today is Friday, October 19th. My daughter Karlie's been missing since Saturday, October 13th. Last seen at 7:30 in the morning, walking towards Highway 6. Anybody, if you're watching this, my name is Melissa Guse. Just said that. This is Karlie Lane Guse. Went missing 6 days ago, October 13th. She was last seen wearing a white T-shirt and gray pants, walking towards Highway 6. Karlie Lane Guse, missing since October 13th, 2018. She's 5'7", 16 years old, dirty blonde hair, 110 pounds. Has her nose pierced on the left side. She was last seen walking towards Highway 6 by a neighbor wearing a white T-shirt. If you're watching this video, please share. I repeat, please share this video. Today is October 21st, 2018. My daughter Karlie Lane Guse went missing 8 days ago, Saturday, October 13th. She was last seen by a neighbor and 2 other confirmed people walking away from our home near Bishop, California at 7:30 a.m. Guse to Today is October 21st, 2018. It's 9:15 at night. Karlie Guse went missing last Saturday, 8 days ago, October 13th, 2018. She's 16 years old. She was last confirmed seen by 3 people. 2 confirmed people saw her in white t-shirt and gray pants, headed towards Highway 6, away from our little community out here. And then 1 confirmed person saw her down by the highway on the east side of just our main road that heads down to the highway.
And so I woke up, it was like 7:18, and I said, because I was in her bed, and her door was open all night, so I couldn't have heard that, and I was in her bed, and she was just gone, and I immediately got up, and I looked around the house, and I'm just going, where is she? I just don't know. Where the hell is she? And I go in and tell Zach, and I say, Karlie's not in her bed. And so just started to panic and got in our cars and just started driving all around. I drove my Corolla out in the boonies over boulders, and Zach took the truck, and he took the binoculars, and then, 2 hours was the point where something's wrong. And then for the neighbor to say he saw her at 6:30 in the morning is what he told me, but he's older. And then the 3 confirmed people, 2 are neighbors that live up here, and the 1 other person that saw her was a wooder driving by and just saw her standing inside the barbed wire fence. So, and the timeline that they say, I was like, how could I have missed her,
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but my brain is spinning. It's doing my head in, trying to understand what the hell is going on here. Right, I've been looking at these lives, I've been writing down notes. I may come across as really, forceful and angry or whatever, but I'm seriously passionate about this because I know, as you probably know, that there's a lot that doesn't add up with this story. It's just really crazy. So let's start off with the witness number 1, the neighbor, the older neighbor, who she keeps saying is he's older, in her interviews. The one that she hasn't put much emphasis on, which is quite interesting. Number 1, witness number 1, 6:30 a.m. She says to Nancy Grace in the 26th of October interview, or 27th interview with Nancy Grace, she states that the reason that they are able to determine what Karlie was wearing, or was last seen wearing, with the white shirt, grey sweatpants, was because 3 different people came forward apparently and told her or police that that's what they saw this girl wearing. So therefore, Nancy's asked the question, oh, hang on a minute, this is the first time I've heard about this, tell me more. And so that's when they've had to tell Nancy Grace about witness number 1. Okay, so this is what happens. Melissa starts telling the story that on October 13th, in the morning, when her and Zach go out on their first search for 2 hours in the morning for Karlie, she asks this older neighbor, have you seen a girl walking down this street, or have you seen Karlie? And he says, well, yeah, actually I have. Around 6:30 a.m. this morning, I saw someone with that description. And Melissa says in the interview, if you hear back on the Nancy Grace one, she goes, oh, okay. Now, I don't know about you, but that really stood out to me when she goes, okay. Like, why would you say okay, like you don't believe him? Now, I know she's mentioned a few times, or 2 or 3 times in her interviews, that, oh, he's older. What's that got to do with anything? Okay, maybe she does think, okay, maybe he's older, maybe he thinks he saw her, but maybe his eyesight's not good or something. But wouldn't you then realize that, oh, well, maybe he's actually telling the truth because the other witnesses came forward like a day or two, not even that long after, like a day or two after October 13th, saying they saw Karlie apparently wearing those exact same clothing, like the same clothing, white shirt, grey sweatpants. So why wouldn't she put two and two together and think, oh, you know what? This older gentleman, even though he's older, he's saying he saw her at 6:30. He might be onto something because he was the first person that told me what she's wearing, and now the other two have come forward telling me that. So shit, he must really know something. Why hasn't she put much emphasis on him in all of her lives? She doesn't even mention him until the October 17th Facebook Live. That's when she finally comes forward and says about him. Even though from October 14th onwards, she's known about these other witnesses saying what Karlie's wearing, okay? Now, what I find really interesting is that in her first Facebook Live, she actually comes forward and says, just blurts it out basically, that Karlie was last wearing skinny jeans and I think it was a white t-shirt. I'm going to do another video on the actual clothing, so hang in there, guys. But this is going to be a really interesting thing. But I feel like this is so interesting. She speaks to this guy early in the morning. He tells her the description. She jumps on, how many hours later? Well, she said she saw him in that first 2 hours of searching for Karlie, right? She saw that witness. And then they got home at about 9:30. Her and Zach got home at about 9:30 because Zach called Lindsay around 9:30, okay? So they're home. So she's had from 9:30 till 4:30 in the afternoon, 3, 4, that's like 7 hours to work out what she's going to say in her Facebook Live. She's jumped on and straight away said that she's in skinny jeans, even knowing that she's talked to this older gentleman who lives down the same street as her, witness number 1, saying that she's in these particular clothes and that he saw her at 6:30 in the morning. Now, why would she say okay like this in her Nancy Grace interview, like thinking, okay, I don't know whether to believe him or not? Or is it more about the fact that, oh shit, he's actually seen me? I don't want to put too much emphasis on that, because what if he actually recognises that it was me that was outside the front of my own property pretending to be Karlie? This is just another aspect of looking at it, another theory, okay, guys? You know, because I don't know. I'm still trying to work out why she's really not keen on bringing forward this witness when she's been really interested in bringing forward the neighbour that lives down the street, like the other neighbour, the confirmed witness number 2, who lived further down the street and who said that he saw Karlie walking down the highway, or towards the highway, I should say, between 7:15 and 7:30 a.m. Now, the other interesting thing here that I noticed with this timeline is that the witness number 2 says that it's 7:30 a.m. or 7:15, 7:30 a.m. She can't be in two places at the same time, can she? She can't be 7:30 walking down that street towards the highway and be 7:30, exactly 7:30, behind the barbed wire on the highway, can she? So what I'm seeing is that, you know, maybe she was 7:15 a.m., witness number 2 has seen her. Maybe it took 15 minutes to walk down to where the barbed wire is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't live there. I'm an Australian. I have no idea. I'm not even aware of the place. I've got no idea with the geographics. But it's food for thought, and for those who are local, they'll probably understand it a lot more with the time frame, and we're going to get into that another video where Melissa actually says she's gone for a walk, which took her only like 24 minutes or something, and we're looking at the time frame here between 6:30 and 7:30. A whole hour to walk down to that part is quite interesting in itself. Now we're going to look into another video with that one, but I'm also looking at another issue. Now, why in the hell is she saying from October 18th to early morning October 17th, I think it was, or October 21st? Yeah, that's it. She's already got a confirmed witness, number 3, right, who is the wooder. And what is she saying why does she keep saying in her other lives that the last sightings were of Karlie walking towards the highway, when she's already got a confirmed witness, the very last one that saw the last sighting, confirmed witness, this Wooder apparently, right? Confirmed witness saw Karlie by the highway, right, south side of White Mountain Estates. Why wouldn't you keep saying that as the very last sighting would be significant, wouldn't it? You'd be wanting to mention that witness rather than the one that, like the witness number 2, who saw her walking towards the highway. So that really threw me as well. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, why do you keep saying walking towards the highway? Like, that's not the last time she was seen. She was actually seen by the highway in the barbed wire at the White Mountain Estate. Wouldn't you keep mentioning that? And then on the 20th of October, she puts on a live at 7:35, and I think there was another one. She said that Karlie was last seen by a neighbour walking towards the highway. No, she wasn't, according to you. According to this other stuff. You know, she was actually last seen by the Wooder, apparently. So, what? You know what? What the hell? So, October 22nd, why is it so important for her to minimise witness number 1 and of what he saw, what he thought he saw, or what he says he saw, right? That's what I just don't get. In her last live, she's like saying, again, he's older. I still want to get to the nitty-gritty of why she's so adamant she doesn't want to really bring him in. And that goes for all of them. Why have not one of them ever come forward to say, yeah, I saw her. I saw her walking down here. Or anything. I don't think there's any posts by any of them. There's none of them being interviewed, as far as I know, publicly, like recorded on a camera or audibly. I don't even know what the hell's going on with that, really. It's all very, very strange indeed. It's very strange. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm dealing with this timeline, with the who saw her last, who saw Karlie last, when, and what exact time was she seen last. And as I said, it's always been consistent with Melissa that Karlie was last seen 7:30 a.m. But it's just interesting, don't you think, that she's saying that, you know, she woke up 7:15, 7:30 a.m. To Nancy Grace, and then she's saying that she last woke up at 7:18 and then 7:15, and I just don't get it, really. I just don't get it. Now, I'm going to be doing videos as well about the clothing, the descriptions. Also going to be looking at other things, okay, that I've been looking at regarding behaviours, etc., body language, all that kind of stuff, which I find fascinating as well. And I'd love to hear what you guys think of this particular timeline that's going on with these times. You know, who last saw who? What time did they last see Karlie? Are the witnesses even real? You know, this is what people are asking. Are they even real? Yeah. Because even the witness, the first witness, number 1, the old neighbour that she keeps saying is the older one, he states that he saw Karlie, or someone that fits that description, at 6:30 a.m. looking up to the stars, right, and holding a piece of paper. Now, that's interesting to me. If she's looking up to the stars, it must be pretty dark at that hour of the morning. How could you possibly see someone? How could he see someone that clearly? I'm not sure. I don't know what it looks like there at 6:30 in the morning at that time of year. Maybe it's getting light and there's still stars in the sky. I'm not sure. But yeah, I find it interesting. And Lindsay had said, I think in her interview with Nancy Grace, it might have been in October, that, or Dr. Phil, now I can't remember which one, but she had stated that this witness, number 1, was actually in a hot tub at the time. So how could he possibly see properly? Like, his vision would have been not so good. And this is where I get to this point too. What if Melissa had thought, well, you know, I'm not really sure about your account of things and if it's really solid for me to use in a live. She could have said that. She could have said, hey, you know what, I've had some news from a neighbour who thinks he saw Karlie, but I'm really not sure if he did see her because of this and because of that. And you know what I mean? Instead of coming out and saying she's been missing since 6:30. Doesn't give any details. Then the next time we're listening to it, she's saying, been missing since 7:30. And, you know, that's when everything's unravelled how it has. So it's food for thought. It's good to go through this again and just look at everything and see what she said, question it. Everything has to be questioned. There's always truths in the lies, I believe. I believe there's a lot of lies, a lot of covering up of things in this particular case, and I believe there's a lot of truth in those lies as well. It's just about being able to really hone in and separate the information and see what comes out of it. It's fascinating, but it's also it's extremely sad. You know, this is a beautiful girl who's gone missing and nobody seems to be coming forward. Those who know the truth are not coming forward, and it's just not fair. For Karlie, it's just not fair. She doesn't deserve any of this. She doesn't deserve it. She didn't deserve it. And I'm going to get to the bottom of stuff. I swear to God, I'm going to get to the bottom of things here. I've been working with Karlie. I've been working with my spirit guides. For those who know that I am a psychic, I do that. And if you haven't seen it, check out the Karlie Guse recent spirit session that I did. It's quite interesting, the information that's come through in that. Okay, so I will be doing another video very soon on other aspects of this case, okay? Today has just been around the timeline of the actual times that they're saying they last saw Karlie. So stay tuned, guys, and I will be back on soon. Blessings to you.